On the first table, there are materials for first experiment. Can feathers get wet? There are caps, water, feathers. On this table, there are materials for second experiment. Can feathers get damaged? Yes, there are oil in the caps. Try to do step by step these experiments, okay? And after this, we will be discussing, okay? What do you think about these experiments, and what can you do to help children understand the role of feathers? Yeah, very good. And then we can ask question, for example, where are birds during rain, for example, or can birds fly during rain? Yes? They have to observe, they have to collect experience, and then we can talk with them about this situation.
Collect feathers, that each of you has got at least one. You can, of course, take more of them. Let's give ourselves 4 to 5 minutes for that, and then we meet here and discuss the feathers, okay? Okay, now look at your feathers and analyze them, feel them. If they are smooth or not, can they bend or not, if they are soft or not. So we can easily tell that if somebody asks you, what is a bird? An animal with feathers. It's enough. It's the most precise definition. Generally, feathers are made of the same thing as our hair, as our nails. This is a very, very hard protein, difficult to destroy, difficult to digest, and this is the main thing that the feathers are made of. The feather has got a few parts that you can distinguish in each one of them. Tell me, with which part it is attached to the bird? Okay, of course. This part is attached to the skin. In English we call it a quill. And here, this is the place where it enters the skin, or goes out, in fact, yeah? Here. Now that part is called a shaft. And on both sides of the shaft we have veins. A vein and a vein. And the vein is made of barbules. When you separate, you can separate them, can you? Try to separate them so that you can see a single one. When you open the feather, let it try to smooth it with your fingers, and that place disappears. The feather is still in the hole, yeah? So in fact a feather, although it's made of lots of small barbules, act as one surface. Is the feather flat or not? When you look from that side. Is it flat or not entirely? It's curved, yes? It's more like that. Tell me, when we look on the feather, which part is the upper one, which is the lower one? Is it like that or like that on the bird? Which is upper? Like that, yeah? So this is the upper, is convex, and lower is concave. And it's true. Imagine that's a wing, right? Does the feather glow like that or like that? So you see the veins are not symmetric. One is smaller, one is bigger. Yeah? The bigger one goes to the body or outside. Like that or like that. The bigger one goes to the inside. So in fact this is that feather here. They cover each other like that. Okay? As on a roof. Yeah? So the feathers on the bird, they do not grow like that, one by the other. Like that, yeah? But they cover each other. So that the whole wing is one surface, like a wing of a plane. This is the downy feather, down, D-O-W-N, down. Puch in Polish, yes. And these feathers, you can see that the barbules do not integrate, yeah? They are all loose. Exactly. The downy feathers grow very close to the bird's body, and between these barbules there is air inside. And that air makes that layer that insulates the bird, so doesn't allow it to lose heat. These feathers cover the body of the bird. So they are, this is like an extra downy layer that protects the body of the bird. Most of the feathers that you find are either wing feathers or tail feathers. Can you recognize which is wing, which is tail? The longer is the wing and shorter is the tail. How can we tell that the longer is the wing? Lotka, yes, that's the name. In Czech lotka? Letka, in Polish lotka, okay. You see the wing feathers, particularly the outer one. This is the outer wing feather. It's very narrow. And you can see that vein in the tip, it's even narrower, yes? It's not equally wide, but goes like that, yeah? So that part is that part when you see a bird flying, it's outstretched like fingers. That part here. And when the bird flies, this outer part of the feathers give it the thrust. It's the one that propels it. Pigeon, yeah. These are wood pigeon's feathers. Yeah? So they're generally quite grayish, not black. And all these black feathers that you can find here may belong either to jackdaw or to rook or to raven. It's very difficult to tell them, but it's usually difficult to identify a single feather. You need a special book for that. So if you are out with kids in the field, you can take such a book and try to identify the feathers, but it's not always possible. There is not a blue pigment in the blue feathers. It is the structure, the inside structure of the feather, that when the light comes in and it, gets, how do you call it in English? It bends in the inside structure and comes to our eyes, and it makes a feeling that we see a blue bird. But there is not a blue pigment in the bird. And the white feathers don't have any pigment at all. Yes, the bird has got, I'm sorry, I have to show you with a not very polite way. Here, a bird has got a gland which produces an oily secretion. And the bird uses that secretion to put it on feathers to make the feathers more sustainable, and in water birds to make them waterproof. If you want to find the feathers, the best time of the year is the molting period, of course. And the molting period for most of our birds is right now, in summer. After the birds already rear their young and before they migrate, they can change the feathers. The birds do not need the feathers, so you can do almost anything with them, but you always have to remember about legal issues. First, check if in your country it's legal to collect the feathers, because not in every country it is. In Poland, for example, there used to be a law that forbade to collect feathers. Now that law was changed, but perhaps in your countries it's different.